Hey guys, sorry I'm running late. Let me get this posted up. We'll get going. Copy. Close. I've learned over the years not to check my phone between classes, and I failed. Paste. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Put a new window. Update and patience. Update. Alright, so now we're updated. Let me make sure the link works properly. We'll wait a minute or two to get everybody loaded in, and then we'll be ready to rock. Today we are taking a minor key song and a major key song, and we're going to use our best ensemble skills to transpose it into lots of other keys, and we will find out the results of that. And https:// jollyrogerukulele.com transposing ukulele.com transposing on ukulele. Let me add on the little photo, our logo, downloads, Tuff-er, Geek Your Vanny, double click, tweet. Alright, we have tweeted, and we can close that out, and we got this going, and we got that. Alright, we're ready to roll. Okay. Oh goodness, everybody in. Sorry for being late, you guys. I don't know, this thing is the worst. Alright. Sandy saying good afternoon, Sandy. Carolyn from snowing western Colorado. Is that fun? Still snowing up in Colorado. Lynn, I got your email. Made me laugh. We're gonna make this happy. We're gonna make this happen. Rainy again in New Jersey. Okay, Donna in from locally here. Winter's cold. Yeah, we've got cloudy, rainy today. It's fine. Kat's in from beautiful Texas. Happy Monday. I heard it was 80 degrees down there, Kat, and getting into summertime. Kathy, why goodness. Yay! Kathy is a music teacher here in Denver, and she is super good. So glad to have you, Kathy. Terry in from across the street. Hey, Terry. Ronnie is in Aloha, 66 and sunny down in New Mexico. Christine, you're excited? Wait a minute. All right, so let's see. I always skip the gun sound. Here's a broken wine glass. Yeah, welcome, Red. Marianne in from Michigan. Rainy today, but the weekend was lovely. Nice, right? You'll take it. Linda in from snowing down in Colorado Springs. Isn't that something? Pauline in back from more. Some of you guys are getting summer. Some of us are still dealing with winter. Jackie in from Glenview, Illinois. Aloha to you. Amy in, she's a local. Linda is a local in my head and from Maui. Nancy is steamy Florida, 91 degrees and a palm tree. Shut up, Nancy. Glad to have you in, Nancy. Good afternoon, Chris. Linda in from Vancouver. Kind of cloudy and cold up there, 54. Okay. Arlo, rain and snow. Arlo's getting a little snow. He lives way on the west side of town. Awesome. Elizabeth, 44ish here. Bad connections again. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth, I'm going to have to call your cable company and say, look, we got a ukulele to do. Let's see. How's it going up in Bozeman? Another nice day up in Bozeman. We're getting the crummy weather. You're getting the good weather. Okay. And partly cloudy in Eugene. All right, guys. Hey, we're wrapping. We're book 2 is clean. I'm as far as we're gonna get. So I've got a couple of last little things to do today and or Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm not going to do very much more work on book 2, and so really the energy, we're going to do a few cleanup things. The Americana stuff we'll do a little closer to the 4th of July. I moved the remaining Tin Pan Alley stuff over into the members section to be focused in on over there. So for the most part, book 2 is what it is at this point. There's like I say, a couple of last little arrangements that I want to finish up for it. But we will be taking our time now to really focus in on building a book 3 member section, modern songs that are 95 years, less than 95 years old. and so we're going to move on to that level of work. I think I've posted all of the rational keys for ukulele, high G and baritone, in terms of the arpeggio. So we'll finish the rest of the book out going over onto the members section. And I do need to write a theory and comp book, which I will get done here probably over the next few months. So we are sort of wrapping up. Is a sort of a great time for us to wrap this up. Let me tell you my basic plan here. I want to get you guys, and some of you are already there, and some of you need to get there, where you can do everything on ukulele. And one of those areas that I want you to at least understand the process. Not that you may or may not ever do it, but it is important to me that you understand how I put arrangements together, so that if you have a song, a lot of times people call and they say, "Hey, do you have a copy of this song?" And in my head is like, one, I've never heard of that song, right? Or it's a song that I know that I'm just probably never going to be getting around to getting done. I want you to be able to know the process to do it yourself. And so that's the next step in our evolution here at Beautiful Jolly Roger Ukulele, is that we're going to be taking more modern songs that are, I like songs that are old and dead and nobody's heard of, but you guys have a tendency to like songs that are, you might have heard of once in a while. And so we'll be taking those apart and turning those into here's the melody, here's the chords, where do I find that stuff, and then how do I approach putting that onto ukulele. And we're going to start that process, and it'll be, I do think you will really enjoy that. And so through the summer, we'll be working on a lot of modern music, a lot of doing your own arranging, a lot of me putting together just the skeleton of the outline, and then you figuring out how to go from there. A little bit of software work, a little bit of music theory work, and all that stuff. That's the plan, starting after Mother's Day. So for the next couple of days, we're going to finish up just the last little bit of cleanup on book 2, and then starting on next week, we will be looking into picking more modern songs. That stuff will be on the front page when we work on it that week, and then it will magically disappear onto the members section after that. So those of you guys who've been sort of questioning, he does a lot of stuff for free on the front page, I don't know if I need a membership. You really don't, as long as you show up here every day. If you don't show up here and you come once a month or whatever, all of that stuff's going to be sort of available in the members section. So you are probably going to want to think about that. Not that every day we'll be doing something cool on the front page, but just know that with modern music, once it's on, if I'm not just leaving it laying around, it's got to be in the members sections, so that we have a little bit of a lid on it in terms of protecting copyright and all that stuff. Monday nights, I've decided we're just going to run jazz the rest of all summer. So that's what we're going to do. So that will not change what we're doing now. We'll continue that super hard, super high level, really punch you in the face kind of music on Monday night. The kind of music that makes you think, well, maybe I should take up bagpipes. That's the kind of music I want to do on Monday night through the summer, and then during the daytime here, we'll work on modern tunes. We'll work on things you've heard of before. We'll work on popular stuff, a little Disney, a little this, a little that, and we'll make it all happen everywhere. All right, so let's grab. Should we start with Danny Boy? Let's start with Danny Boy. It's a little bit less complex song. Not Danny Boy. What am I saying? Drunken Sailor. Let's start with Drunken Sailor. And there's only one version of this. If I can find it, the ukulele version is the same. We only have the ukulele version on purpose. All right, so let's see who else wanted in here. Evelyn made it in. 59 degrees down in Cuenca, raining for her as well. Clay in Northern California. You guys are having a good day in Northern California, I understand. Linda is back. Amy is back. What about Tromieri? I know, I saw that on the list. I'm like, how come I was down to like 3 measures and I just never managed to get back to it. So yeah, Tromieri will be finished probably this week, I think. I hope. If I have it, I should have time. Water everywhere. Laurel is getting all wet. 83 degrees. Linda, I love the Monday night challenge and the songs are great. Yeah. So Monday night, again, I want you to suffer on Monday nights. If you're going to show up to Monday nights, you should suffer. So we'll stick with jazz on Monday nights. And then this period, this time slot here, we'll I think it'll be a little easier in some respects and a little harder in other respects. And so we'll do that. And and I do apologize, Amy. I was like, how come you never finished that? Drunken Sailor. Here's what we're going to study today. We are going to study the relationship of chords to one another. Drunken Sailor. Main chord is D minor. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The other chord in this is the 7th, right? So if I do it in front of my face like you're doing, it should be D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so D and C are your two main chords. It happens in this case that the minor is on 1 and a major is on 7. Okay, so those are our chord relationships. When you are getting ready to transpose something, you're thinking about what are their relationships. And you can use a circle of fifths or you can use your fingers. It will result in the same answer. And so we're looking at this from that perspective. Oh, thanks for the reminder about Monday night. Oh, yeah, by the way, it is Monday. We're meeting tonight. Let's see. Fran says 88 degrees in Southern California and 12% humidity. Oh, my gosh. Come on, Fran. You need some rain. D minor, C. Okay, let's play. If you are on ukulele, I give you the shape of the D minor. Close enough. If you're on baritone, you're obviously looking at page 2 going D minor, C, D minor, C, D minor, C. Oh, sweet, there it is. D minor and C. Okay, so whatever instrument's on your lap, you're playing, we're all playing together. Okay, D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay, so there's your first thought. Okay, unlikely that you would play this as a solo piece, but let's do it just for fun. Okay, grab your tuff uke. Baritone players, you stay on your just straight up strumming your chords. Ukulele players, grab your tuff uke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it works. Probably pretty unlikely that you'll be like, you know what? I'm going to be, somebody call you up and they'll be like, hey, listen, I have a question. We're having this big event. It's a pirate event, and we need somebody. It's a Pirate Hawaii event. And we need somebody to come and play a solo version of Drunken Sailor on a ukulele. Unlikely that's going to happen. So you're really probably always going to play this with the chords, right? So then let's talk about how you would, I gave you all of the answers here today, okay, so that you'll think about the next song when it comes around that you can do that. If your main chord is here and its friend is 7 on this particular song, let's run through the other possibilities, okay? So you could play it in, look at page 2, ukulele chord options. A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So your G is on your 7. Look at there. Works out. Yep, that's what it's supposed to be. What if we did it in B minor? B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, and remember, you keep the relationships the same. So 1 and 7 are your relationship. The first chord's a minor, the second chord's a major. Okay, C, C minor, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And in this case, it's going to be a B flat. I know. It's really like, why isn't it a B? It's going to be a B flat. And if you ever are not sure and you play it, you'll know the difference. You'll be like, oh, that sounds terrible. So it's a B flat. Okay. I wish we had time to explain why it's a B flat. But in C minor, C, E, G, right? Your E's are flat, and then your B's are flat, and then blah, right? Hurt your head. Just trust me. Okay. D minor and C we just did. E, E minor, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Yay, works out perfectly. F minor is the same thing. It's like, what? That seems annoying. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and the E is a flat in this case. And then G minor, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so you see the relationships. It's always going to be the same chord pair. There's a couple of annoying things about flats, and again, it gets pretty deep into things you don't really need to think about. If you're playing C minor, yep, that works, right? But if you did a regular B, you'd know right away. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall something's wrong there, right? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So if you're ever doing that and you're just guessing and you say, all right, C is probably a B, and you do it and you know it doesn't sound right, just lower it down one, poof, answer solved and problem solved. Baritones, your shapes are different now, right? Because when we talk about all of book 2, and this came up in last class, Mary says, hey, I never really understood that the shapes are identical between ukulele and baritone. They are when you're switching keys, but right now you're not switching keys. Everybody just played D minor C, so ukulele players are going to play this shape and this shape, while baritone players are playing this shape and this shape. Sometimes it works out to your benefit if you're on ukulele or baritone, and sometimes it's the opposite of that. So for example, one of the ones that are like a total bummer, F minor on ukulele isn't too bad. E flat's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. There's a lot of motion you got to do to get between the two, but it's not too bad. Baritones meanwhile are like, oh gosh, I got a bar chord on 1. And I got to slide up to 3 and add another bar chord. So for baritones, it's really, really an unpleasant key to play in. Meanwhile, if you look at something like B minor A on ukulele, B minor, you got to use this bar chord going to this A. Not hard, but not necessarily pleasant. Whereas baritones have what we think of as E minor shape going to a D shape. It's a little easier for them. So every instrument's going to have some chords that are better than others, and so let's run through the ukulele. Now, why do you switch these keys? Who cares? Just play the D minor C. Let's just always do that. If you're a singer, this matters a lot, right? And those of you guys that are singers, you know that you have the low note and you have the high note, and you know that you can hit most of the notes in between. The problem with that is that you know your low note and you know your high note. The problem is that depending on the key, certain notes are flat and sharp, and some of those fit your voice better than others, and it really is song specific. And so on this one, I have it arranged in D minor and C because I can probably sing it in D minor and C. I'd probably be all right on ukulele. Now, if I switch to baritone, I'm not positive that it's going to still fit my voice as well. So let's run through all of these chords relationships. So this time, instead of D minor and C, I want you to use A minor and G. What shall we do with it? Okay, so, and then you'll see your voice has to either go up high or up low. The other thing to pay attention to, guys, is it's not a one-for-one relationship. Just because you're playing in C and then you start playing in D, does it automatically mean your voice will be higher? It's not that way at all. If you raise it up to a D, it may make sense to drop your voice an octave almost an octave to then do that. So it's never necessarily just because the name of the chord is higher, it doesn't necessarily mean that the song is going to be sung higher. Sometimes that means it'll be dropped lower. When I do arrangements, I have to make that decision. Okay, so now let's go through all of the keys really quick, okay, on your instrument, and you're going to pick the chords that go with you and see how it sounds. I know some of you are never going to sing, okay? You're at your house, you're in your back room, you got the door closed, and you're on a laptop. You can sing, it's okay. No one will hear you. From the A minor G. 1, 2, 3, 4. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Lie in the morning. Okay, so A minor and G. Yeah, it felt a little high to my voice. Everything feels a little high to my voice. Let's go to B minor and A. Okay, so now we're on B minor. Ukulele players, you kind of got a short end of the stick here. Baritone players, not quite so bad, but a lot of motion between those two chords. 1, 2, ready, play. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Lie in the bone. That one to me felt very high. Like I'm never playing that song in that key. But for someone, especially for females, that might have started to be right in your wheelhouse, right? Who knows? C minor, B flat. Okay. And those of you who we're going to talk bar chords, changing keys on the next song. You might note that B flat, if you slide it up 2 and lift your middle finger up, that's also a C minor. Which is what I'm going to do. 1, 2, ready, play. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. The bow. Okay, there's that key. We already did D minor, C. Let's go switch on then to E minor, D. Oh, that sounds good already. Okay. Baritones is your best one. E minor to D. That feels really comfy on baritones. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, I gotta pick one. Chuck him in the longboat until he's sober. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Chuck him in the longboat until he's sober. Chuck him in the longboat until he's sober. Chuck him in the longboat until he's sober. Lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Lie in the morning. So that goes way above my range, right? There's that. And then what about F minor? Oh, that sounds scary. To E flat. Okay, let's try that one. Keep it. Let's see. Pull out the plug and wet him. I don't like that one. Take him in, wake him in, take him in, shake him in, try and wake him. Take him in, shake him in. Let's do that one. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Take him in, shake him in, try to wake him. Take him in, shake him in, try to wake him. Take him in, shake him in, try to wake early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Yeah, I might be able to pull that one off. Okay, and then finally G minor F. Let's do, well, this is our last one, so that's what we'll do with the Drunken Sailor. One, let's see, one, two, one and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and one and two and three. Ready and go. And that's what we'll do with the Drunken Sailor. That's what we'll do with the Drunken Sailor. That's what we'll do with the Drunken Sailor. Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Okay, so the whole time during this lesson, I've been trying different ideas with my right hand. Some of them work, some of them were stupid, but I want to try them all. I'm looking for the best key for me. I'm looking for sometimes when you're doing instrumental picking, you might find an arrangement that really works nice and that fits the nature of the song a little bit better, and so sometimes changing the key makes the most sense. You have to know, if you are a vocalist, that you're going to need to be able to do this activity, which is to take the songs as you're given them and then possibly make some adjustments in the key to make it fit your voice better. And I see, from time to time somebody's taken one of my arrangements and they'll sing it, and usually it sounds pretty nice because it happens that it fits their voice, and that's why they chose that song and that sort of thing. Meanwhile, if you are pure instrumental, you don't have to do it near as often because you have the full set of skills. That's why I didn't let you use a capo and why I didn't let you use a pick, because you already have your full toolbox available to you. You can play whatever you want, and it doesn't really matter to you overly much which key it's in. The problem is when you're an instrumentalist, people figure that out pretty quick, and they want you to come back them up as singers, which is a delight. It's positively the best thing that can happen to you. But you're still at that point, if you're working with a singer, they may need to change the key, and you may need to be ready for it. And so be mindful that this is an exercise on this particular song, that 1 and 7 go together, and then you're going to try it in all those different ways to find out which one works best for you. But it's not always about you, which is hard to believe. I know I don't want to freak you out here, but sometimes you have to work with other musicians, and then it's going to depend a lot on what skill set they have, where their voices fall in. If you're working with a guitar player, they are definitely not going to want to do it in F minor. They're just not. Whereas I singing it on E minor and D on this instrument was way out of my vocal range. When I do it on guitar, which has a lower voicing, it actually works pretty well. And so and that follows suit with baritone. Sometimes a song, I can sing it okay on baritone and can't sing it at all in the same key on ukulele. So you got plenty of things to mess around with here. Just one song, 2 chords, everything's great. Hey Pele, welcome in. And so try it in all these different ways. When you switch keys that all of a sudden your melody is also on in different places. It's not altogether. It's a lot of work to try to pick out the melody when you go into these different keys. That's why I don't really teach that online. What we do is get where you can sing them in all these different keys, and then if your singing is good enough where you're actually hitting the correct note, you can then go start noodling around and pick out the melody. But that's an awful lot of work, and that's where software comes into play. So there's Drunken Sailor. A couple of just last thoughts about the song. I went through when I wrote this the very first time, I don't know, 2012 or something like that. I went through the internet trying to find those verses that were pretty funny, that seemed very piratey and had a lot of boat references in them, and sort of give you what I consider to be sort of a pretty decent group of legitimate verses. As you know, there are 10,000 verses out there of this, and they don't always have to do with sailors, and they're not always appropriate for all audiences, and that sort of stuff. So so if you decide, hey, this is kind of a fun activity, but I don't like these words, there's plenty more, and always feel free to rewrite these songs. You do not need to use my words, or anybody's words for that matter. But I tried to find the ones that seem most sailorish, and knowing nothing about sailing. So that's what you got there. I would always start with that first verse, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? And I would always finish up with, that's what we'll do with the drunken sailor. So the first verse and the last verse I wouldn't change. But the rest of it, I would say, is completely on you. And a lot of these, you got to sing them through once or twice to get it clear what because the syllables are all different. And cover his backside with mustard and plaster that's hard to do, right? Cover his backside with mustard and plaster. Cover his backside with some mustard and plaster, right? So using the correct number of syllables, or at least being able to figure that out prior to singing it, is a good idea. As my new thing is, you should know the lyrics to the songs you're working on. Probably you don't have to have them memorized, but you should probably spend a little bit of time so you know exactly what you're presenting, because your audience is singing along at some level. We just played Nauseous Sailor on Recorder today. So Jennifer teaches it in a school, right? And so you don't get to do Drunken Sailor anymore, but Nauseous Sailor, Nauseated Sailor, right? It's back in the 90s, we said, it's political correctness. And you're like, well, maybe you shouldn't be having kids singing Drunken Sailor. That makes some sense. Why were we teaching them that in the first place? I don't know. So the Nauseated Sailor on Recorder. Ding, 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 ding. Nice. Way to go, Jennifer. It's all Drunken Sailors today. Jennifer's going to have a pirate patch on her eye by the end of the day. Let's go grab Buffalo Gals. We're going to do the same exact activity in a little bit different way. So grab Buffalo Gals. And guys, I'm aware that I can't sing, okay? So just know that. All right, Buffalo Gals. We are... Drunken Sailor may be from the 18th century. It may be that old. This song definitely is 19th century, and was used in, they would take these minstrel shows from town to town, and wherever town they were in, that was who they sang this song for. So if you were in Buffalo, Buffalo Gals. If you were in Denver, Denver Gals. If you were in Chattanooga, it's Chattanooga Gals, can't you come out tonight, right? Got too many syllables, but that's what they would have done. The kids wanted to throw the sailor overboard. The kids voted, yep, get him out of here. Kids are really, they don't necessarily worry about the long-term ramifications of their actions. That's funny. Do you have a baritone version? No, it is the same version. Yep, same version. Yes, Bailey, it's the same version. So the purpose of Drunken Sailor isn't to play it on a Tuff-er version. It's to sing along with. So it's the same version. As a third grader, I love it. Yeah, see, we used to just sing that stuff. We used to sing all kinds of stuff that was totally we sang at Christmas time. We sang all kinds of religious songs in school. And I don't think they do that anymore. And we always say, well, we came out fine, and you're looking around going, I don't know if we came out fine. I think it's probably a good idea that they're thinking this whole thing through. Buffalo Gals. Yeah, so Pele, it's the same version. Just use the chords. Buffalo Gals, let's go to page 2. You have your ukulele chord open pairs as well. I'm going to add on an E chord. I'm going to do one modification to this sheet. I'm going to give you E chord with B7 because I think it's good to have a bar chord one that's not necessarily quite so uke friendly, but it's very baritone friendly, and so I want you to have that one on this. Let's do this one. Let's just run it one time through. Not all of you guys know the tune. F chord and C7 are the only two, and I gave them this way because I used to use this in intro class because it's super easy and fun to play. Then I found out I'm the only one who likes this song. But F chord, C7, baritone. Unfortunately, this is a tough arrangement for you, and I didn't put it on yours because it's not uke friendly, but I will add it into your shapes. You have the B flat shape, which is your F on baritones, and then that goes unfortunately to F7, which is, or C7, which is the F7 on ukulele. So for baritones, for this one time through, play this shape, bar with your E in front of it, and then this shape, which is your C7. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So run through it one time, just so you know what it is, and then we'll start messing with it. 1, 2, 3. As I was walking down the street, down the street, down the street, a pretty little gal I chanced to meet. Oh, she was fair to see. 2, 3, 4. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Okay, so that's your song. It's super cute. It gets better and better as we go along because I stopped her and we had a talk, and her feet took up the whole side walk. And then I asked her if she'd have a dance. I thought that I might have a chance to shake a foot with her. And then the last one is I danced with the gal with a hole in her stocking, and her heel kept a knocking, and her toes kept a rocking. I danced with the gal with a hole in her stocking, and we danced by the light of the moon. That is brilliant, right? So those are your main chords. So now let's talk relationships. We've talked about this plenty of times before. If F is here, then A, B, F, G, A, B, C, C7 ends up over here. So this song is a 1 and 5, 7 song. 1, 5, 1, 5. Okay. Now, so I gave you some choices down here, but if we were in G, which is a uke-friendly key, G, A, B, C, D, D7, okay, that's one of your pairs to try down there. Then let's see, G. A is for friendly uke key, so A, B, C, D, E7 makes sense, okay. B is not a ukulele friendly key, we hate B. C is C, D, E, F, G7, okay. D is D, E, F, G, A7. And then I will add in E and B7 just so you will have one that's you can look at the bar chords, which is not really uke friendly, but it is going to come up in our lives. So let's do C and G7, just see what the difference is. Okay. Okay. And the other point I make, the other reason we talk about this is it's nice to be able to take any song and play it in lots of different keys. It's different than when we go to a uke strum along. When you go to the uke strum along, there's really the generally speaking, we're going to go not always, and don't think I'm downgrading strum-alongs. Strum-alongs are a super important way to learn how to play ukulele. But there's a tendency to have songs be in easier strumming keys, right? So 5'2" Eyes of Blue, I do it in F. Most of you guys, when you go to the strum-along, do it in C. It's a little easier to strum it in C than F, because F's, B flat's coming along, so people try to avoid that. And so if we only go to ukulele strum-alongs and we only hang out with other people and we're singing and having a great time, we're going to tend toward playing an easier ukulele key, C and G for the most part. But as an instrumentalist, we are thinking we don't care what key we're in, whatever. Just tell me what key we're in, and then we will figure it out. And so, so we are. hopefully getting a bigger perspective on keys. Kay says, hey, this always makes me remember of that moment in It's a Wonderful Life. That's where I know this song from, It's a Wonderful Life. They're coming back from the sock hop, and they've all jumped in the pool, and he and his girlfriend are singing this coming down the street. And it's actually the last moment in George's life when he's happy. All right, grab your C chord and your G7. From the top, I stopped her and we had a talk, had a talk, had a talk. Her feet took up the whole sidewalk and left no room for me. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Okay, so there's in C. C, and then we start going up the list. C, D. All right, let's do it in D and A7. Right, grab your Ds and your A7s. And by the way, on the baritone version, I have those chords already spelled out for you as well. So baritone, I'm going to add on. I forget what I'm going to add on to the baritone version. Let me look and see. Buffalo goes baritone. Baritone, I'm going to add on F and C7, which is the one we already did. But you guys on your version have these chord shapes are also spelled out. So D and A7, D and A7 on baritone. Whereas we are D and A7 here on ukulele. Okay, so again, on this particular piece of music, you got it in two different sheets of paper, which will make the baritone players happy as long as it's in C, right? Other than that, you're just using your chord shapes to support one another. Some baritones will have their shape, ukulele players have their shape, everybody's happy. So, and it sounds cool, to be perfectly honest. So in D, third verse, 1, 2, 3. I asked her if she'd have a dance, have a dance, have a dance. I thought that I might have a chance to shake a foot with her. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Yeah, that's starting to get pretty high for my voice. D, E is not uke-friendly. F, F, how about F? We already did it in F. Let's do it in G. Let's do G and D7. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready. Oh, let's see, last verse. 1, 2, 3. I danced with a gal with a hole in her stocking, and her heel kept a rockin', and her toe kept a rockin'. Danced with a gal with a hole in her stocking, and she danced by the light of the moon. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon. Okay, drama, right? That's because you're finishing up the song. Make the ending better than the rest of the song. Try to get your endings clean. When we talk about an orchestra often, nobody cares about the middle of the song. Nobody cares about the middle of the song. Everybody wants the song to start correctly so they know what song you're on. Then they're going to check their phones, and then they're waiting for the song to end. So you want to get the beginnings right and the ends right. When you're working in ensemble, when you're working in a small group or 3 or 4 of you, you spend all your time, how are we going to start? Who's counting us in? What beat do we start on? Everything's got to be right to get started. And how are we going to wrap this thing up? So we want to make sure that you don't neglect the beginning and the ending when you're in an ensemble. And then in between, you're just getting through the song. And I don't mean to sound negative, but honestly, we all know what going to a concert's like, right? And you're just like, oh, I love that song. Okay, and then you wait for it to get over. And you're thinking, do I have time to go to the bathroom and get back before the next song? That may be unique to me. The last thing to talk about on this song, do we have time? We got 1 minute. Both the baritone and the ukulele versions have some pretty intense, tough stuff on there, and so if you want to, shoot, I grabbed the wrong thing. Hold on one sec. Don't run off. Yes, I included on the baritone as well. So, and I think we did this last year or something, but you do have a pretty entertaining, full-on tough uke version for those of you who are just, I'm just staying in my basement and playing. As was walking down the street, down the street, down the street. Okay, so you've got a pretty, we put in a true finger style arrangement on the tough uke. So every eighth note has a beat, has something in it all the way on through page 1, and then on page 2, where the melody moves up the neck, and it's like, well, boy, that's a little tough. Change to strumming. Okay, so you do have a legit finger style version of this song in the tough uke, and it's pretty hard to play, actually. Not terribly hard, not hard like jazz hard, but definitely more on the higher end of the scale in terms of getting it up to speed, because you're supposed to play it pretty daggone fast. And I was noticing today, I'm like, I will tell them it's on there, but I'm not playing it at full speed. Last thoughts here, guys. The rest of the week, I don't have anything posted yet, but I will get something posted to make sure we have something to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's Mother's Day, so we're not going to meet on Thursday and Friday. And it'd be a great opportunity for you just to go through your songbook, play. I wrote on here on Thursday, play your 3 favorite songs, and then on Friday, try to guess what Gary's 3 favorite songs are and play those, and then send your list to me of what you played. I don't know if I have any songs that are necessarily my favorites anymore, but they're all just more of the same. So then we will. Starting after Mother's Day, we will probably begin looking at more modern music, a new way to think about music that we haven't covered in any detail prior to this, which is really, tearing off all of the fancy stuff, getting down to the bare bones, and then putting the fancy stuff back on. And so that'll be where we're headed next. I think for most of you, you'll find some value in those lessons. And that's the plan. Okay. Questions, comments, or concerns? Otherwise, that's what we did. That's how today went. And yeah, don't forget tonight is jazz orchestra. I have not gotten the new stuff posted yet, so I'm going to go and scramble around and hope that is Cindy still here? This song she gave me is just absolutely destroying my life. It's the Hotel California of jazz is what it is, and so I'm hoping that I can finally get that thing knocked out this afternoon. So let's see, Evelyn, good to see you. See you tonight. Vic, great lesson, and good to see everyone. Thank you. Cindy. Oh, she is still here. Okay, don't tell her I said that her Moonglow has beat me up. Moonglow. Yes, Moonglow. I don't even remember the name of it. All I know is nothing lines up on it correctly. There's nothing that I don't know. I made a mistake. I have a system that I use all of the time, and I didn't follow that system, and I made my life much harder than it was supposed to be. So anyway, all for you, Cindy. Lynn, thank you. See you tomorrow, Lynn. Have a great night. Jennifer, you're welcome. Ronnie, thanks. Thumbs up. Oh yeah, let me know. Thumbs up, right? Yeah, I will definitely, Ronnie. Clay, good to see you, bud. Nancy, great lesson. Yeah, go at a slow pace, right? Take your time, go through and practice the chords at a slow. Everything's at a slow pace when you're learning it, guys. Everything, and give yourself permission to go at half speed or a quarter speed. Give yourself permission to slow down. It's amazing how much you'll learn by playing slowly. Once you can do it slowly, then you can start ramping it up. But if you can't play it at fast speed, you need to go and slow it down for sure. Amy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Bruce, good to see you, buddy. Vicky, keep that weather going up there, Vicky. And Chris, good to see you. All right, guys, I'm going to go take a little break, and then I'm going to get started on tonight's music. I'm going to hopefully get 2 pieces posted. God willing, and the creek don't rise, and I'll see all y'all either tonight or tomorrow. Have a good one.